All right, I'm getting ready to go live on IG, but I also wanted to share this for YouTube. And so I got littled the other day, and I want to talk about it, right? Because I think I've heard it come up in a lot of conversations with people. I've heard people say it, and I'm like, you got to have a lot of audacity to say that to someone, right? And so we're going to talk about it a little bit. I'm going to go a little deep about where it is and then how to respond to it if in fact someone does say it to you. And so let's go. Oh, have you ever been littled? Like that happened to me last week. And we have to chat about that on a Monday, right? And so, if someone comes up to you, like, how's your little business doing? Or how's your little project doing? Or how's your little nonprofit? Or how's your little family doing? Or how's your little relationship doing? Like, have you ever been littled? It is one of the most fascinating things. And it happened to me last week. It wasn't a big deal in the frame of which the person said it, but it's just like, how does that enter your vocabulary? And how do you have the audacity to ask someone something, right? Checking in on, but like preface it in like little. And I think I've been in like Facebook groups where people have talked about it and definitely felt some kind of way about it. And then usually they frame it in the like, well, this person has not done X, Y, and Z. Like, how do they have the gall to even say, like, how's my little thing doing? Oh, yes, all the time. Ooh, listen, that thing irks me to the ninth degree, 10th degree, 11th degree, right? One for so many different reasons. One, because it's like audacity at all-time high. Two, it's such unnecessary language to even have in your vocabulary when you are in conversation with somebody else. And, not to be messy, but 9 times out of 10, when I've heard it said to other people, when it was said to me, I'm just like, we are not even on the same level. And that is not even on some ego stuff. It's just a reality, right? And I think oftentimes, and I'm gonna dig into this, right? But oftentimes, the people that I hear say it are never where they need to be or want to be. But for some reason, they can say, like, how's your little thing going? And so when we think about like people taking audacious steps, right, to start a business, start a project, start a family, start an initiative, write a book, build a podcast, like whatever it is that you did to start is so big, whether it's one customer or a million customer, whether it's one person you saved or a million families you saved, even that one is a step bigger and bolder than most people will ever do in their freaking lifetime. And so to say anything that anyone is doing that is little is such a jerk. I'm trying not to curse, right? It's disrespectful. It is highly disrespectful. And I've had to check people around me, people that I love that have said that. I've heard them say it to people. I'm like, why did you say little when you were talking about that person's like business or their dream? Like, what about it was little? There's nothing about any of us that is little. Do you understand it takes 1,024 ancestral lines for us to live, for you, me, you, everyone to live on this earth? 1,024 ancestral lines. I had to look it up because I had to be certain, right? And then even let's even go deeper than that because I found a stat. Where did I find a stat? Okay, right? Like even for you as an individual, even if you're not working on a project, you've not climbed the corporate ladder, you like it takes two parents, four grandparents, eight great grandparents, 16 great great grandparents, 32 great 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 grandparents, 64 great 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 grandparents for you to be alive. There's nothing small or insignificant or little from that. For us to be on the receiving end of someone talking about how's your little thing doing? It's it I don't need to have this energy on a Monday, but I was telling Derek about the incident that happened last week, and he was just like, why is that bothering you? I'm like, it's bothering me because if the person or persons has the gall to say it to you once, they say it all the time. And some of us have the mental fortitude to just like brush it off and ignore it. And for some of us, in the season that you're in the day that you're in the moment that you're in, you literally could be teetering on making a decision to quit what you're doing. And this person who doesn't even have have the, I know what I'm trying to say. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Doesn't even have it to say that to you, says that to you. Because I've been there, right? It's like you teetering on the edge of like quitting, throwing it all in, right? Or making a decision. And it's that one thing that someone says to you that just kind of takes you over the edge. They may not even realize how big it is, but it's big to you in that moment because you're teetering on making a decision or not. And there's so many other instances from that, right? But it's just, it boggles my mind the way people hate without even realizing they're hating, right? And like these things always leave clues because people do not act incongruent with what their beliefs are. And sometimes they're projecting that onto you. Most times they're projecting it onto you, how they really feel about themselves. But at the same time, like as human beings that have a command of language, you say what you say and you mean what you mean in that moment. And Lord, it bothers me when I hear people say like, how's your little business going? Let's think about it a little bit more, right? I wrote down some notes. So if you see me looking over here, I wrote down some notes. And so there are 7.8 billion people in the world. 7.8 billion people in the world. 150,000 people leave this earth every single day, and you were here. There's nothing little about like that stat or those scenarios or those chances so that you were here doing the thing that you do, hustling in the way that you hustle, grinding in the way that you grind, sacrificing in the way that you sacrifice. But there's people around you that don't do that, don't live full out, don't play full out. And their sole day responsibility and their words are to belittle what you got going on. And yes, you can put blinders on and you can ignore them and all of those things, but at some point it sometimes seeps into the fabric of who you are, whether you realize it or not. And it's not about it is about how we receive this, but that is not even the conversation. It's literally about them. Like, who hurt you? Who disappointed you? What didn't work for you to go to someone who is building something much bigger than themselves, and for you out of your mouth, because language is every single thing that we say to people is a choice of words. You may not be doing anything, but at the same time, you can look at someone doing something and like break them down by one word. That's a choice. That is a choice to say those things. There are 33 million businesses in the United States, 33 million businesses in the United States. There's 334 million people in the United States. And of those 334 million people in the United States, there are 33 million businesses. That's a large gap of people who aren't doing anything. I mean, not say not doing anything. Please forgive me. That's not what I meant to say. That did not bet the house, step out on faith, cash in on their 401k, build a thing every late night, every early morning, that get up and do something that like their whole educational system, at least for the first 12 years, has literally trained them not to do the thing. And they've gone against all of that. They've gone against what their friends and family have said. They've gone against the security of a 9-to-5 job to start a business, to start a side hustle, to start an organization, to start a movement, to start anything. And you have the nerve to ask them how's their little thing doing, that's insane. That's absolutely, absolutely insane. There's nothing minor about what you're doing. There's nothing minor about the decision that you made, not only that day, but the decision that you make every single day to stay committed to your dreams, committed to building a legacy, committed to changing things, committed to helping people eat healthier, committed to helping people celebrate, committed to building the new technology. Like, there's nothing minor about your commitment to the thing that you started, to the thing that you built. What is minor is the people around you that do not see your vision, cannot see your vision, cannot do what you are doing, but the only thing they can do is simplify, minimize who you are and your decisions every single day to build a thing. That's what's minor. That's what's of low significance. Like, having the audacity to say that, like, to say that to somebody. And it's, someone said, it's discouraging, and sometimes it's debilitating, and it shouldn't be, because not everybody celebrates what you do. I understand that more than everyone. Not everyone celebrates what I do, and I don't care. But there are moments in which it seeps in when people say stuff like that. How's your little business doing? How's your little project doing? How's your little this? Ain't nothing little over here. And when the person said it to me, I laughed. I was like, little? Like, that was such an interesting choice of words. Why did you say that? Oh, that's not what I meant. No, it is what you meant. Why? By the time we become adults, we don't mix words. We say it. You mean what you say, stand by it. What are you comparing that to? Because you cannot be like, come on. And you don't have all the time in the day to check people on it. It's not the best use of your time and energy, but I'm just like, I'm baffled on where it comes from. There's nothing insignificant about stepping out on faith and following your dream. Like, the mustard seed at the end of the day, right? Having faith of a mustard seed, even that thing isn't little, because so many people do not have the faith of a mustard seed, as small as it is, but do not have the vision of how far and big it can go and grow. And the only thing that they can do is be like, how's your little thing doing? Like, don't even ask. If you're going to minimize the thing that I'm building or anyone else is building, and you ain't building nothing of your own, like, do not even ask. Don't ask. Yeah, who said it? Simone. Lack mindset it's so real, and it's so blinding, and it likes company. It likes company. It loves company. It feeds off of company. Who else can I bring along in my lack journey? It's disgusting. It's a disease, and it feeds on the host. It feeds on the host in a way that they got to bring along other people. They got to pull other people down. It's disgusting. And we've all, whether it's been said to us personally, it's been said maybe about you in rooms or conversations that you'll never be in. And it's, even when people say, like, I hate the term minority, and I have to check my team on it all the time. Like, ain't nothing minor about us. Beautiful people of color are the global majority. The global majority. Ain't nothing minor. And so it's, if you're not little, it's minority this, or it's the small, like, you have such an incredible journey of existence, each and every one of us, because the odds are that many times we're not even supposed to be here. We're not even supposed to be here. And so many people have, like, the audacity and given themselves the authority to tell you what you're not supposed to do, and to tell you what you're not supposed to be, and try and frame and reframe who you are and the things that you do, and the daring daring things that you do every single day. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. All right, let me get back to some comments, because I know I probably touched a nerve of some people, because it just is crazy, right? Y'all, there are what, 500, like, listen, I'm gonna go into biology thing, right? 500 million sperm cells go floating out during, and so the odds are like 1 to 500, like you survive that, and someone is telling you that you little, like, come on, right? Like, I, even when I have, y'all know I tell the story to my daughter all the time, like, she's 10 now, and I tell the story from time to time, and I try not to do it too much because I don't want to like frame her existence, but I was just like, babe, you were one of the smallest people on this earth when you were when you were when you were born, and they told us that you were not going to make it because of that, and you literally defied every single odd, all the odds, you defied all of them, being born one of the smallest people on this earth. And like, I don't know if she fully grasped that, but I fully grasped that, right? Because there was nothing small about her, like her want and heart to survive, even when she was 1.4 pounds. And we all start like small as far as infants, but like you grow to be freaking amazing human beings that defy your individual and collective odds every single day. But like, I always quote Myron. I just got off like the mastermind call on every other Monday that I do with him. And, he always talks about disruption follows your best intention. And if you do not realize that, you will quit in the middle of your assignment. I quote that thing so much, I might as well have it tattooed on me, because I say it so much, because it puts so many things in perspective. You woke up today, on Mondays, like most of us all do, with mighty goals that you need to accomplish: phone calls, meetings, pitch meetings, products, services, whatever, contracts, whatever you had to do. And someone along this journey of this week that you have set out to conquer any and everything that you're getting ready to do will say something to belittle you. Will say something that just like drops like a nugget of doubt into who you are and what you've built. And like, if nothing else from this is a reminder that they do not matter. Their words to you do not matter. You literally must stay the course, because they are a disruption along the pathway to your intention. And if you let it seep into the fabric and fiber of who you are, you will be derailed off your track and you will never get back on. It could be something big. It could be something like the size of a rice. Is it called a rice kernel? What is it? A piece of rice? A rice? Like, what is it called? It could be literally as insignificant as that. And having that conversation with my husband about it, it was insignificant. Like, when I say it was, but it was just like, when someone says something, I was just like, why did you use that choice of word in this moment with me? Like, what about this? Or what about that made you say that thing? And if you're not careful, you'll internalize it as you. And no, it has nothing to do with you, and has everything to do with that person. But I'm also a firm believer everything happens for a reason. And when things get crazy and feel chaotic, what I always ask God is like, what are you trying to teach me in this moment? Because every single interaction is a lesson. When you're driving and like a homeless person, right, walks across your path, and you can go on about your day. There's no interaction or anything like that. But it's also sometimes stop you, like, why did that person walk across my path in this specific moment at this specific, like I'm always asking that question, because it all turns into something, right? Going back to even like our ancestors and the odds in which we are actually put on this earth, right? You know, two parents to 4 grandparents to 8 great grandparents to 16 great great grandparents to 32 great 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 grandparents to 64 great 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 grandparents. There are 1,024 ancestral lines that had to come together for you to be here. There's nothing small and significant about you. But anything that changed along that journey, along any of their lives, you may not be here as a result of that. So things had to come together so perfectly and so intricate and intertwined for you to be here, to then somebody sit in your face and talk about how's your little project going. Like, get the fuck out of here. I'm trying not to curse, but there's nothing else to say but that. Like, get out of my face. Don't even answer that question. Literally just look at them and walk away, because they are not deserving of any of your time. Because time is the biggest commodity, most expensive commodity that none of us get back. I have no time to waste on you. You have no time to waste on them. You got things to do. You got big things going on. You don't have time for little people, little conversation, to be littled in 2023, when like so many things are going crazy that you got to hold yourself and your things together like a vice grip. Like, no, it's crazy. All right, reminds me of that quote by Theodore. Hey, Simply Events Design. Hey, by Theodore Roosevelt. Man in the arena. If you're not fighting down here in the arena, please keep it to yourself. I like that. Brene Brown says something like that too, right? Like, if you are not in the arena fighting with me and like you're only in the stands, like you do not even deserve time and consideration. I know chop that up, but y'all know what I'm saying. Go find it. Logana, yes, ain't nothing there's nothing minor about you. Nothing. Keeping the example of what greatness is, sis. Thank you. Simone sets trends. Is that trendsetter Simone? Hey, thank you. I wish I had hair to come to you. Thank you for showing up on this live and pouring into us. I appreciate you. It has been on my heart, weirdly on my heart. And I was just like, I just want to chat through that a little bit, because I just don't think people fully understand. No, I'm always trying to give people grace. I don't think people fully understand the power of words sometimes, right? Like I always talk about my guidance counselor in high school. I was a C student. I wasn't a horrible student, telling me that I'd never make it to a college or a university. And there's so many times I've been on stages where I've said, according to my guidance counselor, I'm not even supposed to be here with you today. And for so many of us, so according to most of our doubters, we're not supposed to be here, but you're here. Yes, the power of words have a way of debilitating you, and they also have a way of energizing you and setting out on a path to prove that person wrong. And I'm also I'm mindful of that, because that was me in high school. I was like, I must prove this woman wrong. She don't know me, other than what she sees on the computer screen. She does not know me. And I set out on a path to prove her wrong. But at some point, the path had to move from, or the journey had to move from proving her wrong to proving it to myself that I had it. And I always had it, right? Like the energy, the tenacity, the know how to figure this thing out that I felt was gonna swallow me whole or define who I was gonna be for the rest of my life, because that's what that person was trying to do, because her outlook on life was so limited that she could not see the vision that I had for myself much bigger than that moment or what was staring back on her on the computer screen. And so many of us are in those situations, right? Like, I don't need anybody else to believe the vision as long as I believe the vision. And God believes the vision, and knowing that I am the vessel in which that thing is going to happen. And as long as you can hold on to that, like, you are good. You are good. But the reality is, some other people do need to see the vision. And if that person cannot see the vision that's staring in front of you, that's trying to little your shit, go find somebody else who does. And you go borrow the belief in other people that see the thing, sometimes when you don't see it. But when you see it, you go find the circle, the tribe, the people, the city, the state, the country that believes in your vision as big as you do. Because there's nothing little about you. There's nothing little about your audacity. There's nothing little about your vision. There's nothing little about your resources, even when you don't fully feel it, but you feel it. You know, when you've been in that situation, like, man, I can't fully wrap my head around it, but I feel it. I feel like in my bones, this is the right thing for me to do. This is the right thing for me to build. This is the right person for me to be. This is the right person to bring on. And if it's not, like, you got to make some changes. But what you will not do, and I will not allow you to do, and y'all don't allow me to do it, is to let anybody like rain on your parade because they don't have a parade. You don't know. Where did you come from? Go. But what you cannot do is stay here, because we don't have that. We don't do those kind of conversations over here. We don't use that kind of language over here, because it don't serve me and it definitely don't serve you. And so the real reality is, like, why do you feel comfortable saying those words? What are you saying to yourself every single day? Because the longest conversation we have is with ourselves. And can you imagine the negative people who have the nerve to say that to you? Like the negative, toxic, depressing, I can't even think on this, like self-deprecating conversations that they have with themselves every single day. Nah, boo, don't check on me. Like, let's check on you. Because there has to be something in you that is so red, that is so negative, that you can say that to somebody, full stop. What is going on with you? What do you need to actualize your dreams so that you realize there is nothing little about the people that are in front of you doing what they're doing? Like, people don't see you through, how's the saying go? People don't see you through their eyes. They see you through your eyes. So what are you, like, you in that instance? And when people say, they say that says nothing about you, it says everything about them. It says everything about them. What made you feel so small, so insignificant in the pathway that you've created 500 million sperms that you have to swim that swim to implant? And then, even, what does the science say, like 200 still get implanted, and you got to survive the one, like you are the one. And so what happened to you? What interrupted you to the point where you say, I am going to spend the rest of my days, small conversations and big conversations, interrupting other people? Like, come on, man. None of that is okay. None of that is okay. And of course, on the receiving end, you got all the choice in the world to walk the heck away from that conversation. But none of that is okay. Is it tenderoni? Thank goodness no one has done that to me, because my face alone will answer for them. Hold on, let me get to this. I gotta jump because I got 11 o'clock. But I wanted to, there was something else someone said. I was like, dude, that was spicy. Let me get that. It makes my pressure boil, because we're not, there's nothing little or insignificant about any of us. And yes, it's highly, highly disrespectful. And people, even when people don't say like little or use the air quotes or any of that, there's other things that they say. You still there? I remember for the first, oh, who said this to me? Like, coming on as a CEO of Black Ambition, maybe like 6 months in or a year in, and someone's just like, are you still at that? I was like, am I still at it? I've only been here. Like, why are you asking me that in the way that you ask? Well, that's not what I meant. No, that's exactly what came out of your mouth. And so people say it in all kind of different instances. But when they really like little, that drives me over the edge, right? But it's just like, no, why are you projecting that onto me? Like, Anyways, I'm not gonna go there. All right. Imagine if it's your own family that does. Oh, it's worse when it's your it's bad either way. It's bad either way. Like whether it's your family or a friend or a colleague, you even got to question if they can still be friends at that point because they saying a lot in one word. They say a lot because you have a choice. You do not have to preference it with that, but you choose to. And so, what are your thoughts? Like, it's just it's small-minded people, but it's hurt people because what hurt people. And that's not just in a family or relationship sense, that's a vision sense as well. I don't see the vision. And so the easiest thing for me to is to minimize who you are and what you're doing so that we can be on the same depressive, ain't going nowhere, ain't doing nothing level together because misery loves company. Brooklyn nerd, it's happened to me and I almost quit because of listen, running a business, stepping out on faith, doing something that no one else around you is doing is so hard. It's rewarding to the 10th degree. It's the thing that we will suffer through until we figure out because I talked about Derek and I talked about passion yesterday because it's just there's something there where you have like this uncontrollable emotional urge to continue down this path until you see the rewards, right? It's this weird, really weird dichotomy of all these emotions and feelings. But so many times you're literally teetering on the edge of like, do this or don't do this. And I feel like every single day, there's some sort of version of that where you're constantly looking for validation and not like applause validation, but like that transaction that came in, yes, it's working. And you're constantly looking for little moments of validation every single day that this is the right choice that you made, mostly because there's a big, gigantic machines of like people and systems and information that are telling you this isn't the thing that you should do. You should go get a job. You should do nothing so that they can sell you the pill, the thing to like combat that like that feeling, that emotion. Like there's so many things that fight against you when you follow your dreams that you do not need the people around you to be it. There have been so many times along my entire career where I've been teetering on like, man, I don't, this is like, why is this so difficult? Like this shouldn't be this difficult. Like I can go on and do something else or like go on and do not like you're always teetering. And I have those stories for days, right? The my dad talking me off the edge when we launched Derek and I launched Feverish and things weren't going well in the first 2 years. And I'm just like, I got these job offers. I can go on and sell cheese and it will require like not sell cheese, but market cheese. For Tillamook cheese, I got a really great job offer at the time. And those are the disruptions, right? That will the disruptions that will knock you off your intentions. It's not always bad things. Sometimes it's really great things that will knock you off the pathway to what you know your vision is. And if you stay the course, you will reap rewards that are far bigger than whatever that offer is. I could not see that at the time, but my dad could see it. And he was just like, if you take this break, you're not coming back to your company. And I just could not see it because I'm like, I can't pay myself anywhere near the salary right now. Derek can't pay himself anywhere near the salary. And this is just like a 6-month contract. Like I can go do this. And it was like close to 6 feet. Like, and that's why you need good people around you. And at that time, our business was really small. Warehouse in Little Haiti, I think maybe 2 carts and like a truck. And like every sign was to quit. And maybe if someone littled me that day, I would have literally quit because I'm like, I got another option that can like, I won't have to suffer through what we're suffering through financially. And that's why you need good people around you because my dad told me, and he wasn't like rah, rah, like go continue do your things. Like he gave me a dose of reality. Like if you take this break, you're not coming back. You're not, I know you're not going to come back because the alternative is better than the suffering that you are experiencing right now, but trust the process. He's like, go out and sell some more popsicles. You got carts. Like he's like, you got options. You can sit and suffer mentally of thinking about all the problems, or you can look and say, I got ways to make money with this business. It may not be working in this instance, but it's working in this instance. And sometimes you don't need to be coddled. You need people to give you back a dose of reality that pushes you to have forward momentum as opposed to little. Anyways, I gotta get out of here. But I hate that IG doesn't like let you save the comments, because I always want to go back and read the comments that I missed. I had someone say that to me, I should start from I should start from the bottom. You ain't got time for them kind of people, right? I needed to hear this. I've been feeling discouraged. Do not feel discouraged. Go back and watch this again if you need to. Come on, sis, teach us the true meaning of what it means to show up for yourself every single day. Every single day. It's debilitating. It's so specific. It is what it was literally what it meant. Literally what it meant. Lack mindset is real. All right, you're giving me life. Your lives are so important and so timely. Yep, so true. That should be motivation. Watch my little business turn into an empire. It's it. I will not give them that, because I don't need negative to turn into like positive motivation for me. I need positive to stay positive. I need positive to stay positive. I'm tired of doing that Jedi mind trick. And it works to certain extents, because some of us just are emotionally fueled human beings, where we sometimes need people to doubt us, so that like it reinforces the belief that we have in ourselves and kind of give us like, I get that. I have been there more times. I don't want to do that anymore. Like, if you are not on this train in the most positive way possible, and if I am also not committed to you, like, I got to be committed to you. Like, there's a two-way street to that, because it's going to cancel each other out and you don't move forward. And so, like, no, I'm not using anyone's negative energy as fuel. And I have been there even recently in the past 2 years. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not trying to prove you wrong. Get away. Get away. Get away. I don't have time to. That is such wasted energy, because it's framed in the negative, and you were going here. And so the energy that you take to prove someone wrong knocks you off your platform or whatever you're building. Like, it knocks you off, because you change your focus to be about this individual person and proving them wrong, and trying to show them who you are. No, go show the world who you are. The world that actually believes in you. It's twice, 3 times, 4 times as hard to shift your energy to prove someone wrong that does not believe in you. And may never believe in you, no matter how hard you work, and you end up working 2, 3, 4, 5 times hard. Take the path of least resistance. There are people that are rooting for you that cannot show up until you show up in the pocket of who you are, so that they get excited, motivated, and inspired to do their thing. Leave that person where they're at. Y'all can clearly say I'm speaking from experience on some craziness that has happened over the years. But all right. Okay. Keep being the example of great. I love y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all keep being the example of greatness, right? And we're gonna be on this greatness journey together, because we don't have someone said rice grain. That's what a grain of rice. I'm like, is it a rice? All right, y'all. I'm gonna jump off. I come from a family of 11, and I've watched my parents make ends meet with very little. It's my very reason why I've started my movement. Big family, big movement. I needed big family, big movement. Yes, big family, big movement. It's such a great reminder as I teeter. Please don't teeter on the side and lean on the side of the best decision that you should make moving forward. And do not let any little people, little you, with their little vision anymore. And so, can we talk about the flip side? Having words that you that build you up with people expecting you to do great things, but you haven't materialized these visions yet. Give yourself grace and time. Every day you can commit back into what you need to do and have transparent conversations with people and ask for help. Ask for help. Ask for help. Right. And so